everybody. It's Ron and Hope Unfiltered, real, raw, and relevant. And we are so glad that you are here today. Ronald, how you doing today?
You've been fussing at me and my feelings are hurt.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Listen, we do need an update on John G. Everybody who watches us hears us talk about this infamous staff member, John G., who needs a wife. And so I saw him
50,
today.
Ain't
He is not 50. He's like 12. How old is he? Like 24. So he was coming in the building today, and I saw him being so smooth, talking to one of our staff members. Really? Yeah, he was grinning and laughing. He was working it. And so she went down this hall, and then I saw him going this other door, and I looked at him. I said, "Okay, John G., I see you working it."
Yeah.
He said, "Pastor Hope."
Good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him some pointers on
how to do
take that to the next level.
Oh, okay. What
I'll
pointer?
help him out a little
What
bit.
would you give him? What pointer would you give him to go to the next level?
I got to hear
Has to
where
be
it's
his
at.
drip.
I got to see. No, I got to see where it's at. Because
what if it's nowhere
there's a
and he's
certain
just
point,
starting?
No, there's a certain point where Rico has to kick in. Rico Suave has to kick in. And Rico has certain tones and certain mannerisms that are not entry level, they're advanced.
Oh.
And they have to be taught.
They have to.
Yeah, you're not born with them.
You could be his mentor.
Be a mentor. So I'm going to help John G. after this. I didn't know he was advancing at that pace. So I didn't move forward.
He's really trying. I saw him
Tell him what we're
it.
talking about today, because we only do like a half hour.
Well, last week on my Instagram, I put out there, I said, what do you want to hear on Ron and Hope Unfiltered?
And number 1 and 2, which was far away from everyone, all the rest of them.
Number 1 was money management.
Which surprised me. That surprised me a little bit, quite honestly.
Money management. And number 2, marriage. We talk a lot about marriage. We talk a lot about marriage anyway.
The whole thing was kind of birthed out of that, actually, to give insight on kind of what me and you're like when we're not preaching. So we get a lot of that. Of course, we do marriage conferences and things. Sometimes we bring that in here to the table. But the money, I've never talked about money outside, understanding biblical principles, tithe and offering. I've never really talked about it a lot, period, practically. Yeah. I talk about the biblical keys to blessing.
Right.
And how to operate and function under the blessings of God when it comes to your generosity and those things expected if you're participating in the kingdom. But as far as a practical, Dave Ramsey, here's your book, Getting Out of Debt Breakdown. I've never done that. But Hope, I don't know, and nothing we're going to say come out of a book, but me and you have rebounded. We've done well. We've crashed and rebounded and rebuilt. We've rebuilt my credit at least twice.
Yep. And I would say that we are a miracle, even financially.
Yes.
We're a miracle in so many areas.
Because we've been devastated several times.
We started out literally. When we say this, I don't think people really understand.
Well, some of them do now because I'm taking them to see it.
What we mean when we say we had nothing. We literally, I worked
missionary
3
money.
jobs so that you could
We started
a
church we got married right out of Bible college, literally the next week. Was it next week? 2 weeks?
A few weeks after you graduated. Yeah, 23rd of June, so it was a few
weeks. Couple of weeks. I think I graduated like the first week of January or something. June. We got married June 23rd. So like a couple of weeks, then right after that, we took a honeymoon, then went to start our first church.
Yeah.
So the way we structured that, there was no church there. There was no organization there. There was no money there. There's no tithe and offering there.
Right.
So we went.
We didn't step into something that already was built.
We went around during my senior year in college. We went around on weekends and preached at churches that would allow us to little Pentecostal churches all over the Southeast, and asked them to support us like missionaries for 1 year while we tried to get a church off the ground.
And whatever came in.
One church, there'd be $50 from this church and $75 from this one, $20 from this one, $120 from this one. And when you put it all, if everybody sent everything in, we could pay our rent, get some gas, and buy some groceries.
It's a good word.
But you never have everybody send everything in. So it was sporadic. It was the working of 2 or 3, jobs here and there to just try to survive. And we ain't got to take everybody through every bit of that. We said that to say we do have something to say.
Yes.
We do have something to say when it comes to building that. I want to do something. I feel like I need to do. I just thought about it 5 minutes before we walked in here. So I hadn't even told you this. I want to tell people, we moved to the West Coast, and after we moved here, there were so many things that needed to be done. But I'm new. They don't know me. And so, sometimes people can look at you and say, he looks like he's doing all right to me. Why is he raising money? Mm-hmm. And so I did something that was very helpful to a lot of people. I sat and told them in a roundabout way our financial situation. I'd like to share about 3 minutes of that, how we do what we do, how our life is set up. Because a lot of people you don't got nothing to say to me. You mega church pastor, you don't know my world. I'm driving a forklift on second shift and I'm trying to pay child support and you don't know just give me a minute. Number one, my salary from redemption has not increased since 2008.
True story.
At my decision, we went in a recession that was brutal on redemption. We lost 48% of our operating revenue. We almost went into bankruptcy. Very close into bankruptcy. The ship had flipped on its side and it was sinking. And we had to go to full-fledged saving it. And everything took cuts. I took major cuts. And the decisions we made to help save the ministry, because in a recession, first things that goes is vacation-type spending, recreational spending. Second thing goes is charitable giving. So we're number 2 in a recession of things that get cut off, and buddy, it did. And Greenville was a working-class city, and people was losing their jobs left and right, and revenue just plummeted. So we had to save it. I took cuts, and we've not modified my salary since those cuts. We've left them there. And I made that decision. And the reason is because it was at that time I said, me and you need to diversify. And so a lot of people don't know. Give me 3 or 4 minutes to work this, because I'm going to tell you there's somebody out there that's listening and saying, I'm glad you told me that. We did a lot of real estate on the side. I've lost a few. I won a lot. And what we would do is I made a deal with you. If you wouldn't get connected to a home sentimentally, I'll let you build a dream home when you turn 50. And so you never did. And we would buy a home in foreclosure, 30, 40 cents on the dollar, move in it, fix it up, and sell it for a fortune.
Live in it for a while.
Live in it 4 or 5 years. Most of the time we look back, it's 4 or 5 years. Then I would not take the money and cash out and go on a shopping spree. We reinvested it in a next level house.
Right.
I would buy it in foreclosure. I always bought distressed properties. Fix it up, live in it 4 or 5 years, sell it for an astronomical amount of money. We lived in houses far above our income.
We did.
Because I did that on the side and did it successfully. Now, during the recession, I got devastated because I had 5 homes that I was renting and all this and that and other, and everybody quit paying me. So that's a whole nother story. So we have lost. I lost one of the most hardest days of my life. My name means everything to me. Was I went through a foreclosure. I lost 4 homes at a loss, but after I didn't have any more money to lose, I lost one in a foreclosure. That was devastating to me, because if I put my name on a piece of paper, my name means everything to me. And and out of a million ways of trying to negotiate, nobody would help me. So another thing we've done is, then we made Ron Carpenter Ministries. And you have HCM, but Ron Carpenter Ministries, it's speaking engagements. It's book sales. I have 2 books. One nobody really knows about. The other one's very public, done pretty well. It's CD, DVD sales. It's the vault. It's social media, monetization, social media. These podcasts are monetized when we have ads and we have advertisers. All those things are Ron Carpenter Ministries. And so we developed that over time. And so when you look at all these things that we do and you put them together, you and I are blessed. I am not wealthy, but we're blessed. The thing that nobody talks about that we did on a radical level was giving.
It's true.
We were radical givers.
Even when we were on welfare.
Radical givers.
We knew the principle, and it was the only way out.
And that is the hardest thing to communicate. Because when we were up against the wall, we knew we had to get seed in the ground.
That's right. Because a seed
we
will
would
produce.
sell cars to have something to give. We would have yard sales to have something to give.
Yeah.
We had to have some seed, and God broke us through. And so many of our blessing breakthroughs have come on the edge of sowing a seed.
Yeah, we hear people say, well, I don't have any money to give, or I have nothing to give in
Yes, you do.
expansion, or I have nothing to give on Sunday. The Bible says he will give seed
to the sower,
to the sower.
bread to the eater.
If you have a heart to give,
He'll give you
you
seed.
have something.
You got seed.
But you may have to take it out of your coffee fund, your Starbucks fund, your fingernail fund, all the things we like to do on our spare time. But we all have seed. It just, you have to decide what you're going to do with it.
I didn't say radical tithers.
Right.
We're radical givers above our tithe. And so when you have an entrepreneurial spirit, when you have a business model, when you try to make sound decisions, when you're diligent in your work ethic, when you try to seize opportunities and manage them and steward them well, and you're expanding your life in the right time and the right season, all these things have come to a life of blessing. And sometimes if they see a certain pair of shoes or they see a picture of your house, they like, man, they're just draining the church. I hadn't gotten a raise in 20 years almost, 17 years. So it ain't that, it's the fact that we have all these other things we've added to our life. And
it's the main thing is the principle of the blessing.
The principle of the blessing. We walk under the blessing. We got property. We got $1 million property for $100,000.
Right.
That's the blessing. And after we got it, people much richer than us came to us and said, how did y'all get that?
That's right.
Because they wouldn't sell it to nobody else. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, the blessing all the time under the principle. We had a house, our first little lake house. It was just a little lake house. And they couldn't sell it because it had no direct lake access. It had to share a dock with another house, so nobody would buy it. And we went in there, and what nobody else would buy, we were just so thrilled that we might possibly be able to get a little lake house for our family. We went in and bought it. I started getting calls. Woman from Florida wanted that house and didn't want another one. We sold that thing for an astronomical amount of money, and they couldn't give it away.
That's right.
Till we got it. That's operating under the blessing. So that's always been a part of our life. Having said that, there are many of you out there in a million different seasons. I'm not going to try to be Dave Ramsey. And you need to put 20% to this and 10% to this and this right here and have a 4-year plan and have a 8-year.
And that plan does work for some people.
But I'm not trying to do that. I don't have expertise in that. But I am telling you, practicality, Hope and I have done a lot of things right, done a few things wrong, but we've done a lot of things right. And I want to talk about those. Number one.
Wait, before we do that, you got to hold off.
Oh, we
have an ad.
We got an advertisement.
We do, and it's HelloFresh. And you may have heard of HelloFresh. They send chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients right to your home. But this summer, they made their biggest menu upgrade yet. This isn't the HelloFresh you remember. It's bigger. HelloFresh has doubled its menu. Now you can choose from 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. Dig into bigger portions that'll keep everybody satisfied, even Ronald Wayne.
I don't eat much.
It's healthier. You feel great with an even healthier menu filled with high protein and veggie-packed recipes. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener, with new veggie pack recipes that have 2 or more veggies included. It's tastier. Get steak and seafood recipes delivered every week for no extra cost. There's 3 times more the seafood on the menu now at no extra cost. Discover new seasonal produce each week, from snap peas to stone fruit to corn on the cob and more. You love corn on the cob, don't you? We love HelloFresh. We get it every week to our house. Every Monday, it comes straight to our door. So your best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/RonandHope10 FM, that's the number 10 FM, now to get 10 free meals and a free item for life. One per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. It varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/RonandHope10 FM to get 10 free meals and a free item for life. All right,
You love their
Ron.
food. We eat their food all the time.
Let's do some principles. Principle number 1.
These are broad. Broad's the word. Vague was not the right word. Broad principles. Number 1, budget.
Budget. That is important. You can't just go into your life blindly and have no plan. You have to have a plan.
It is. I had a great granddaddy, Hope. Did you ever go to his house, Granddaddy Turner's?
Yes.
You'd walk down his house and the whole thing just start leaning to the left.
It was old.
You're just going down the hallway and you're holding off. And what it was a bunch of drunk guys got together, and whatever at the lumber yard was on sale that day, they bought it. Every window was different. Nobody measured. There was no architectural drawings. There was no code. He lived to be 96 years old. And basically, the house was built with no plan. And I see people they do life like that.
Yep.
And you and I, this is old school. You don't have to do it with paper, but the same principle. When we were living off missionary money, I had, at the top shelf of our closet, I had envelopes and I had them marked.
It was in a shoebox.
Okay? Groceries, rent, insurance.
Gas,
electrical bill. I had them all, and then if there was anything left over, we had one called entertainment. And a lot of times we'd have $100 for a month.
If that.
And we put like 420s in the little entertainment thing. From the beginning, we had a budget.
Yeah.
We had a budget. People say we don't have any money, and I say, well, how much y'all making? Well, me and my wife together making about $130 a year, and I'm like, you have money.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
You have money. Let me get in, and then I find all types of waste. And I'm like, you got money here. You got money here. Because the fact is, Hope, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I tell people I can see what you love
by spend.
Following your account.
Yep.
Everything that you show me in your account, I will see what you love. And so
Lizzie loves coffee.
She does. Has them delivered to her right
Our worship leader. She gets coffee delivered here.
I hope that,
1 cup
I hope
of
that
coffee.
people will be able to look at our account and see that we love God.
Yes.
We love church. We love the kingdom.
That's right.
Because we have so much going there per month every time we get paid. So there has to be a budget. And I'm going to go through these quick, okay? It's got to be done. And then don't veer from it. Because if you compromise your system, throw it away. Your system is meaningless. Once you get a system, stick and adhere to your system.
And it does work.
It does work. And somehow or another, our first tax return jointly was $8,600. We made $8,600 on our first tax return, 1990, for the year. And
we didn't starve to death?
Look, you were in college. I think it was a terrible hotel. We stayed about 5 days on a little vacation on the coast one time. I mean, we had gas. I don't remember you running out of gas coming back.
We couldn't fix our car every time. We had to lay our hands on the car.
I had to work with a car that went fix. We didn't have money for extras, but we survived. And you were in school and working on the side. You were a full-time student. We borrowed our way through it. So let me do the second thing. Number 1, budget. Number 2.
So number 1, you have to have a plan.
Yeah,
you have to have a budget.
So number 2, and a plan for the season you're in.
Yeah. Plans change.
Don't be unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's a plan for the season you're in. That plan would not work for me now. I'm an investor now. I'm thinking legacy now. I'm thinking college funds for my grandchildren now. I'm in a different place.
Right.
I wasn't thinking that then. I was thinking, make sure my wife is safe and her car ain't going to break down and we got something to eat before we go to bed.
That's right.
That's a different season. So you have a budget and a plan for the season that you're in. So I could preach a sermon on recognize the season you're in, okay? Number 2, there is no secret money. I can't.
What do you mean, like between the couple or
I
what?
saw Dave Ramsey about a month ago. A guy called in and had an inheritance that was 7 figures from a father, and his wife didn't know the money even existed.
Wow.
And Dave Ramsey called him out and said, "You are a deceiver."
Wow.
There is no secret money.
Right.
There is no secret stash. There is no, I've been putting this back and my husband don't know I've got it. That does not exist.
Dang, we can't have mad money?
There is no his and her money if you are married. And I'm talking to married people.
What if I'm trying to save it to buy you something?
If they're married, you know what I'm talking about.
I know, I'm kidding.
If they're married, it is your money. Now
Right.
you have your own account.
Right.
And
But
we have
you know
a joint
what's in
account.
it.
I don't have my own account. You have your own account and we have a joint account.
Oh, that is not true. You
Oh,
have
my
your
goodness.
own. You have your own. I send you money every month, and you get to do whatever you want with it.
Out of our joint account.
Yes. But what's that called? Apple Cash.
Out
Yes.
of our joint account.
Yep. And you spend whatever you
But I
want
don't
out of
have
your
an
Apple
account.
Cash.
You have an account and we have a joint account. And out of your account, you have things that you have to pay for. We want our grandkids to go to a special school.
Yep.
We paid for
They
that.
go to a Christian school. We pay for
we
it.
decided to pay for that. Our kids are not at a place financially to do that. That's an investment we want to make. That's things like basically what you have your own accounts for. You help your mom and dad. Your mom and dad are way up in years. So things like that, we send that money to you and you're taking care of that. And I'm glad of it because I really don't have to. I know it's taken care of. But there is no secret stash.
Right.
And I've heard this too often, quite to be honest with you.
Like, that's his money, that's her money, and
I had a guy as a business owner one time told me he had $360,000 stuck in the wall of his business and he was getting ready to get a divorce from his wife and he's trying to keep it out of divorce settlement. I'm just going to tell you, that's wrong. It's just wrong. It's not right. And so some people like to say, well, that really goes on. That goes on. All these people I'm talking about are Christians.
yep. And I think the base
these
of
are
that,
Christian people doing that.
because that's wrong on many levels, but I think another level is that the base of that is fear. I'm trying to keep this for myself because I'm afraid I'm going to not be able to do what I want to do, or I don't want him to take my money, or what. The bottom line of that is fear, and perfect love cast out fear. So there's a lot of intertwining reasons people do that. But before you go to your next point, I want to say too, we've worked with so many couples about their money, about their marriage and their money, because the money aspect affects the marriage. And I think some couples think that just because you're the man or the head of the house, that you're supposed to do the money. No, not necessarily.
Some men are terrible
Whoever
at money.
is best at
Whoever's
it
best at money.
needs to do the money in the house. Just because you're a man,
But now let me say
you
that.
don't
Let me
need
come
to
back.
just do the money.
I got to put some pressure back on them. The Bible says the man who does not provide for his household is worse than an infidel. So the root word of provide, the root word is vide, and it means vision. He who does not have a vision for his house is worse than an infidel. The word infidel means one dominated by his senses.
Mm-hmm.
So the one who's dominated by see, touch, smell, taste, or hear, he can't see anything in the future. He can't see anything that's unseen. He can't set a faith goal.
Right.
Now, your wife may be great at executing and administrating the money, but the man is supposed to have a vision for the household.
Yep, but what if he don't?
You're in a tough place. Because God
I've seen
didn't
a lot.
say in the next verse, and if he don't, women, you need to. He didn't say that.
Somebody's got to do
He said,
it.
men, have a vision for your household. Don't be dominated by the here and now. Which leads me to number 3. Money and credit problems are not a terminal illness. I want you guys to get a house. Y'all need to have a house. Okay, but we got bad credit. And the conversation just stops.
Right, they just think that's forever and ever.
I'm like,
I'm in.
well, How bad?
It can be fixed.
I have had collections agencies from doctor bills when we had no insurance ruin my credit on several occasions. Ruin it.
Yep.
I mean, ruin it.
When we were having children.
And we didn't have money for insurance, and I made those $50, those $100 payments, but, we want it paid off by this. Well, I don't have that. And they'd ruin my credit, turn me over to collection agencies. And so I'm in a rebuilding process. I've had to do it several times. But there is no terminal illness. Money problems can be fixed, rebounded from, credit can be rehabbed. So you cannot look at, I'm in a bad place financially, as a death sentence.
Right. You just have to get very disciplined.
What do you have to do? And you got to do something and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, because debt and getting out of a hole financially is like chopping down a tree. You just got to keep chopping and keep chopping and keep chopping, and then believe God to bring about the blessings that you can't do. For instance, Chase. Chase was $13,000 in 1994 and we had no insurance. $13,000 when I was making $8.
Right.
Looked to me like a mountain I would never scale. I'm just going to tell you, at that time, that I'll never pay off $13,000. I'll be paying on this when I die, okay? But I'm sending them $50 a month. You went outside and you had a fever one time. They wouldn't see him because we had a balance. I remember you came back crying. We had to lay hands on him and pray. The doctor would not see him.
Nope, because we owed $200 to the pediatric doctor.
So, I remember that. So I pay this thing down from 13 to 3. Diligence. Years have passed. Chase is probably in the first grade.
It took us 7 years.
Yeah, Chase is probably in second grade. Okay? A man comes in off the street, comes to my secretary, can I meet with Pastor Ron? At that time, I still met with everybody. Sure, she came on the door. I said, sure, bring him in. Guy owned a pest control company. He owned it. It was his. Don't know the guy? He steps in and he says, God told me I'm supposed to pay off a bill that you have, and said it's $3,000.
Yep, I'll never forget that. But because we had been diligent to do our part.
We were diligent to chop down the tree. Then the miracles go. He came in there and I said, make the check out to
St.
Francis Women's Hospital. And I couldn't get that check to that hospital fast enough, because when we were diligent, it makes me want to cry. God brought the miracle.
He did. And he's done it so many times. So many times.
This guy walked in off the street and named the amount. You owe somebody a bill, and it's $3,000, and I'm supposed to pay it. Is that God? It's crazy. So, nothing is a terminal disease when it comes to money problems. 4, principles. These are just principles. Have a limit you can spend without having to have a conversation. In other words, I don't go buy a car.
No, without us talking.
And bring it home to you.
Major things we talk about.
So is it $1,000? I can spend $1,000. If it's over $1,000, we need to talk. Is it $100? What level are you on? Is it $10,000? Is it okay? Any major purchases, whatever that may be, But I don't come home and say, babe, I just bought a rental home today. I don't do that. I don't do that. I will sit down with you if a major purchase is in my mind. And when me and you going to Paris on an anniversary, we set a budget.
We do. We sit down and say, okay, now where are we financially?
Okay, we're in France. We're going to do a little shopping, and this is how much we're going to spend. And we negotiate. We're 50, we've been married together, over 35 years, and we still have these conversations. And great frustrations come from major purchases made by a spouse and the other one don't know, but they're now responsible for it.
Right.
Don't put me on the line for something that I did not participate in. So these are big principles that I'm laying out. We're not doing, Dave Ramsey percentages, but these are big principles.
One thing that we did, Ron, early on is we had things that we knew financially were non-negotiables, that we were going to make happen in our budget, regardless if we could ever go out to eat, if we could ever go on a vacation. These were the things that we were taught by our parents, that you have to have this as a young couple or as a young person starting out in life. And one of them was, health insurance. We didn't have health insurance at first, but that was our plan that was our goal. But we did, and a second one was life insurance. You don't know what's going to happen, to the head of the house or to the spouse or whatever, but mainly the head of the house. Before we had health insurance, we had life insurance.
$17 a month.
You were paying that every single month.
$17
that was
a month.
35 years ago, though. But
I
whether
wasn't talking about that's what they should get it for. I was talking about that's how little it was,
yes,
but we had it.
We had it.
We had it.
Yes, and there are certain things like that people, I just shake my head at couples today.
Well, we found out during COVID.
When I ask them, even around me and people I know, I'm like, do y'all have life insurance? They're like, no, we'll worry about that later. And I'm like,
you can't worry about later because it's astronomically high.
The older you get, it's going to double and triple.
Yep.
You have to get these things when you're young.
So making sure that y'all were taken care of. Another thing that we did is we always knew the power of compounded interest. And I don't have a money background, but just I was hungry for this knowledge. We started college funds for our kids when they were born.
Time they were born, we started.
And if we bought pork and beans, we still put $20 in their college fund.
Yep.
That's
what I'm saying. There were non-negotiables for us.
Period. And so if we didn't get to go out and eat, and if we didn't get to go on a summer trip, it didn't matter because these things were a part of our core values.
Yes.
They were our non-negotiables. And all of our children, by the time they got ready to graduate, this is not an astronomical, but there was enough money to cover the majority of their college, not because I dumped a lot of money in it,
because we were
but
consistent.
because I did it for 18 years.
Yes, we were consistent.
I did it for 18 years, and again,
we were willing to sacrifice. And I think that's a huge word today in money management is
delayed gratification.
Couples are not willing to sacrifice, and they're not willing to have delayed gratification today so that their future can be blessed.
Well, now the big thing young people want to do is travel, okay? I don't mind that, but you don't need to be going to Italy if you don't have life insurance.
Come on.
If you're married or you have kids and you don't have life insurance, you don't need to be going to Europe. You need to get you some life insurance.
Right.
You need to make sure things are taken care of. When COVID was going on, I was blown away because it's almost, I don't know, who knows where the virus came from and how it was designed. Who knows? I've heard a million conspiracies. But it looked like it preyed on weak elderly people. It took
people who had sickness,
disease, and elderly people. It was taking them out left and right. People who were somewhat healthy or young just seemed to weather it all right. I'm sure you know some examples, but I'm talking about in generality. Not trying to make nobody mad here. We got calls.
So many calls.
To pay for funerals.
Yep.
Of people that passed during COVID.
Because they did not have life insurance.
I mean to tell you, this church was writing $12,000, $15,000 checks left and right to cover funeral expenses because people that I could not believe
and the truth,
did not
Brian,
have things taken care of.
That is so selfish that you will not make the necessary sacrifice for simple things, non-negotiables like a life insurance policy, but you're going to be like, well, who cares? Somebody will pay for it once I'm dead. That is selfish.
They're right. Somebody will.
That is so selfish.
Somebody will. You're right. That's a 100% true statement. Somebody will, but that's not your decision to leave it to somebody.
The Bible says that a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, not debt.
Yep.
A wise man leaves an inheritance to your family.
Yep. I don't want to leave the world and I left everybody trouble.
Right.
I want people to say, my daddy's been dead 20 years and he's still taking care of me.
And
you know what I'm talking
will.
about? Yeah, that's what I want people to say. I've given you about 6 or 7 principles, and we've been over here for a half hour.
These are great. I hope it's helping
You want to go
somebody.
further? Because I want to talk about some of our advanced years when we started looking at, not just spending for today, but how we started planning for tomorrow. I'd like to talk about some of that. And maybe everybody is not at that season yet, but everybody's going to be at that season.
Right.
And I would like to talk about it because the thing about me and you being at this part of our life, we have walked through several seasons. What was it like in the seasons of putting kids through school? What was it like in putting kids and I will tell you, I don't know that I have the answers on this. How much do you do for adult children? I have had so many conversations with people who have adult children because I just want to pick their brain on what's healthy and what's not healthy, because I don't have all the answers. And some people feel like they got it right.
And we have adult children now,
some people
so we're
feel
needing help.
Some people feel like they haven't got it right. But I don't want my kids to start where I did. Well, I went through this and you should too. No, you shouldn't.
No,
What do I want to do to that?
Right,
But here's
but you
the problem.
still need to pay for your life
Here's
insurance,
the problem.
kids.
Here's the problem, though. It was the journey
Yep, and have a savings
that allowed
account.
me to sustain it. And if you don't ever build it, you usually don't have the power to sustain it.
Right.
And
You
so
gotta have some skin in the game.
There's that tension of not wanting your kids to relive all your struggle, but at the same time, the struggle was how you learned to do what you do.
That's right.
Maybe
And
we'll
so
talk about that next
How
week.
do you balance that
The
tension?
next
We can do
season
that.
of life.
We can do that.
That's awesome.
Maybe this has been fun. I hope somebody got something from it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go read somebody's book. 20% goes here, 10% given,
But I think
25%.
even that,
You going to do
Ron,
that?
every family's different. Every family's different.
Well,
I don't think
there
there's...
are broad generalities. I know
Yeah.
people like Dave Ramsey, like generally 25% goes to rent or mortgage, 10% goes to God. That's generalities. And I know his books have helped. That's not my expertise. I just want to give these broad principles because we do marriage people all the time, and these principles being violated has destroyed marriages.
It's true.
So anyway, well,
Thanks,
baby.
guys. Thanks for being here. Ron, tell them about the vault. Tell them about
The
your
vault
AI.
is I have an AI app that's free. It's free. It wasn't free to me. It's still not free to me, but it is free. And you can download that app, and it pulls answers for you out of 35 years of
It's
my
really
teaching,
good.
my prayers, my altar calls, my ministry time, my offering nuggets. It pulls from all that to give you the answers that you seek. And then if you want more, there's something that is subscription-based, and it costs a lot of money to keep it up. But it's something that I've prepared, and I'm really proud of it, and I love for you to use it. If you say more on the subject, it'll go into the vault and pull up my teaching series where it pulled the answer from. And so the first one's free. The second one, it costs a little bit, but hopefully it brings much
it's
greater
so
value
good.
than it costs.
So many people talk about how much they love it. And,
Yep.
they're like, I don't want to watch Netflix. I don't want to watch Prime Video. I want to listen to the Word of God. And so they have the vault, and it just preaches all day long, all of your messages. So people love it. And I would love to have you guys, we have male and female Inner Circle members from
You wouldn't let
all
me in
over.
it, remember?
Oh, my
I asked to be in it. You wouldn't let me in it.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. But they're from all over the world. We have 5 countries now represented. Can you believe that? In the Inner Circle. But people are growing. They love it. I love pouring into you. It's just a tool to help you grow. It's a mentorship arm, and I would love for you to be a part of it. So go to hopesinnercircle.com and join today. So until next time, it's Ron and Hope Unfiltered.
Real, raw, and
raw,
relevant.
and relevant.
We'll see you guys. We love you. See you later.